Let's go live to Sydney. Former Prime Minister and non-executive Vice Chairman of the American Global Strategy, Scott Morrison. Thanks so much for your time. I thought that discussion with the young men there and Paul was very interesting and almost emblematic of what we're seeing in terms of the vote, Mr Morrison, with young people maybe, and young men particularly, feeling like they don't have a piece of the American economy right now and they're all struggling. Is that your read of things, that cost of living and the economy has underpinned what looks like a positive result for Trump today?
Well, Donald Trump was always going to win this election if it was about the economy, cost of living and immigration. You add to that the fact that President Biden's re-elect scores are in the 40s. And as you just heard then, there's been a reappraisal of the Trump term by Americans, and his job approval ratings now for that time today are much higher than they were back then. Then you had the right and wrong direction stats, and they were compelling. 2/3 wrong, 1/3 right. Now, that's quite a steep hill to climb if you're the Vice President seeking what is effectively re-election of a Biden administration. And I think the Trump campaign very successfully connected the Vice President to the Biden administration. And when all those things come together, and a stellar performance from Donald Trump, from President Trump, then it's all come together tonight. And Donald Trump has torn down this blue wall. That's very clear. And, you had to win Pennsylvania to win this election, and that looks very, very strong. And then you add to it Wisconsin and Michigan, two very difficult states, and he's performing very strongly there. It's only really, I think, down in Arizona, and we'll see what happens in Nevada, where things are tighter. But this has been an extraordinary victory for President Trump. And, I congratulate him. I wish him well. I thank Joe Biden for his service to the United States and for his service to the alliance with Australia. He was a good partner of Australia, and I had the privilege to work with both men. And I know President Trump will be great for global security and will be great for Australia.
What do you say to those who might be concerned, if not scared, of another Trump presidency, as that was the word our Prime Minister used 7 years ago about Donald Trump? And obviously there'd be many that would share that sentiment. What do you say to them?
Well, I'll tell you, scary. Vladimir Putin's scary. Xi Jinping is scary. Ayatollah Khamenei is scary. Donald Trump is not scary. I think the three places that will be most unhappy with this result tonight will be in Tehran, will be in Beijing, and will be in Moscow. What Donald Trump, I believe, will bring to the presidency is a strength and a clarity, which mean there won't be any gap or any doubt about what these autocrats who are seeking to push their agendas right across our region and put our security at risk. There'll be no doubt about the strength. I've seen it before. I witnessed it last time. That is one of the strengths I think he'll bring to the presidency. The second thing I think he'll bring to the presidency is a rejuvenation of the US economy like we saw last time. The US is an entrepreneurial, animal spirits-driven economy. And I think we'll see great confidence come into that economy, and we'll see many of the things that he's talked about. Now, yeah, there's some work to do on a couple of issues, particularly when it relates to tariffs. And our government will have to be on its game to ensure that they manage that relationship well. It's not unlike when it changed from President Trump to President Biden. We had to make that adjustment, and we landed AUKUS within 9 months. So that's the job, and I'm sure the Ambassador Rudd I know he's been putting in the hard yards on this, and I certainly hope the government will be listening to him, I should say, about how they should be going about approaching this new administration.